Hi there, Agile friends. I'll come in here just with a quick note to let you know that the Agile Online Summit 2022 is coming soon. To know more, check out bit.ly/AOS2022. That's all one word, all lowercase, bit.ly/AOS2022. Now, stick around to the end of the episode if you want to know more, but for now, on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Friday TGIF episode and also Product Owner episode this week with Ruta Hardikar. Hey, Ruta, welcome back.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
So, Ruta, this is the Product Owner episode. We talk about a great product owner and what they did that made them great in a few minutes. But for now, let's dive into the opposite of that. Share with us what was potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, I would want to make sure that, before I share my story, that nobody is at the blame, right? When we say that, what was the worst anti-pattern, it's not product owner's mistake, but it's more of a coaching and the way processes were implemented. So I was part of a team and I joined as a Scrum Master, and that team was new to Agile framework. They were in their early adoption stages of Scrum. Scrum was the framework that was implemented. So we have different events, right? We have sprint planning, we have daily Scrum, then refinement, sprint reviews, and retrospective. Except for sprint reviews, I saw that all the events are on my calendar, and I was new, and I saw that there's no sprint review invite. So I was curious that, hey, did we just forget to schedule a sprint review, or we never have a sprint review? Right. So I reached out to my product owner, and she said, "Well, we never have sprint reviews." And I was curious. I said, "I'm curious, why is that?" Because we have individual demos with the stakeholders. So then I was curious, then what about other stakeholders or our team members or maybe some shared services, right? How do they know that what did we develop during our sprint and how are we getting their feedback? So then our product owner said, well, we're just reaching out to them individually and getting their feedback. So that was like, oh my God, okay, we gotta change something, right? So that was the moment where I started coaching the importance of sprint review, that why it's necessary. This gives us opportunity to have all the stakeholders, team members in the room, get their feedback on the increment that we developed during the sprint and reflect upon it. So it's a great event where we can inspect and adapt,
And
right?
also be proud, right? Like the
Be
teams can be
proud.
proud and show what they've accomplished.
Yes, get appreciation for the hard work that our team members put in, right? So that was the coaching moment, right? And of course it took time, right? So I had to first build that relationship with the product owner and try to coach the importance of sprint reviews, what value we are going to get out of it. Imagine, say, this is not something that our stakeholders wanted, right? And you just demo it to one of the stakeholders and not necessarily get feedback from others, which could impact them at some point. It's not going to help us deliver that ultimate value. There will be hiccups, there will be changes, and we would have to reprioritize or rework on something. And after that conversation, what happened is we decided as a team that, okay, let's try it. Let's do it and see if it's working for us. So we had our first sprint review, and everybody actually liked it because, like you said, there was a proud moment. Developers were the one who were demoing.
That's very
The
important, right? Because
Yes,
they can be
exactly.
proud when they show it.
Yes, absolutely. They were able to show the user stories they worked on. We got some feedback from stakeholders. We got appreciation from stakeholders. And we were able to reflect upon that. There were a couple of changes. So we created some user stories to work on that. And it was instantly in our backlog, right? So there was a value that our team members felt appreciated for the work they put in. B, we got instant feedback. Three, that went to our backlog. We were able to work on it, right? And prioritize it. So yes, going back to
And the
the
team
question.
got the context. That's another thing.
Yes.
It's like, because you can get feedback and get stuff into the backlog when you do one-on-one demos,
Mhm.
but the team doesn't get the context. They don't know what was the conversation. They don't know where that idea came from, right? But when you do it in the sprint review, the team gets the whole context.
Yeah, for sure. They got that exposure. Another great thing, and that is something that they loved it, is whatever impediments, challenges our team faced during the sprint, we talked about those impediments, right? This is something that stopped us. This impacted our sprint goal. So there was a great level of transparency created between stakeholders and the team that because of this reason, this particular functionality was not achieved, right? I think it's very important for us to create that transparency with stakeholders that if we are not able to deliver our sprint goal, iteration goal, or PI objective, what was the impacting factor? There has to be a reason why our teams were not able to deliver, right? And that way they can help us resolving it, or at least they understand that this is the reason, why I didn't get what I asked for.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great story, and also a lot of context around why the sprint review is so important. That was great. And because the sprint review is kind of the example of a healthy product owner performance, we do want to go and discuss what else is part of that healthy product owner performance. And we want to hear an example of what might have been potentially the best product owner you've ever worked with, Ruta. So describe them for us.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the best product owner that I worked with was very close to the customer, right? They were understanding. So that particular lady, she was very closely working with our operations team. That's where all the customers reach out with any questions, queries, or complaints. So she was in constant touch with the operations team, getting that feedback, creating user stories or defects, right, per se, that what is working for our customers and what is not, right? So I feel that product owner represents customer, act as a customer to the team, and help us with the priorities that what would help delivering the value, right? What should we prioritize? So I feel that there are some aspects that and that was in the product owner that I was talking about, that very close to the customer, knows the priorities, also constantly in touch with stakeholders, that what do they want us to build, sharing the feedback with stakeholders, that if there is basically the intermediate person between the customer and the team, right? And when I say customer, it could be anyone, whoever is consuming the value that you are producing. Could be internal, maybe another team who is going to consume your solution or a product or a piece of work, or it could be external, like me. I'm a customer to Uber, right? So it could be very well internal or external. So other than that, I would say the product owner, the best quality that I saw in her was stress on hypothesis, that try different things, don't be monotonous. See what would help us delivering the value faster, what would help us building quality solutions, right? So trying hypothesis, having that mindset where we are trying out things, learning from it, see what's working and not working, and move forward. So these are the qualities I would mention, that being close to the customer, 100% make sure about the priorities and communicating those priorities to the team, acting as a customer to the team, and making sure that there is a great communication there and alignment there.
One thing that I wanted to highlight, which is very dear to my heart, is when the product owner takes ownership of being the voice for value, right? Like you talked
Hmm.
about being close to the customer. That's one aspect. The other aspect is being clear on priorities. So not try to get everything done, but just
Yes.
focus on certain things. And also even ask the team, how can we deliver value faster? Right? Like what do we need to change? What do we need to drop in order to focus on value?
Yes.
And I
Uh-huh.
think that stewardship, right? Like being feeling responsibility over the delivery of value, even though they don't do it alone, they do it with the team and potentially even multiple teams. But feeling that ownership for me is a key aspect of a great product owner.
Yeah, for sure. Having that vision is important, right? So focus on, I would say, three V's: vision, value, and validation, right? Having that vision that this is what my customer want and this is what I'm going to prioritize to help them get value faster, right? And then value is something that we talked about, that focus on delivering value, keep customer at the center. And last thing, like I said, hypothesis, right? So validate what's going to work. Maybe, if just to give an example about validation, right? I was working with a team where they were working on a website, right? So do some A/B testing. What images are working? Where are we getting the most value, most clicks, most visits, traffic to the website, right? What is the language that is appealing to our customers, to attract them to our website? What would help? So try different things and see what's working or not working.
Absolutely. The three V's: vision, value, and validation. That was beautifully said. Thank you for that, Ruta.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, Ruta, we're getting close to the end, but before we go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
I would say reach out to me on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn profile name is Ruta Hardikar, and reach out to me. I love talking to different Scrum Masters, change leaders, learn from their experiences. Also, I would love to learn from your challenges, that some of the experiences that I can share with you. Also, I can share my email ID with the Vasco, or you already have it. Reach out to email me if you want. If you're not on LinkedIn or not very active on LinkedIn, reach out to me via email.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll put the link to those on the show notes so that people can easily reach out and ask questions. And why not also suggest different things and have a conversation about these things that we all care so much about in our role as Scrum Masters. Ruta, it's been a pleasure. So thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you, and thanks for having me on the podcast. Thank you all.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around to know more about this year's Agile Online Summit. The summit will have 4 keynotes and 4 tracks you will not want to miss. The keynotes will touch on critical topics for us, from delivering on time to helping you to focus on sustainability. The 4 tracks are tools, so we'll focus on tools you need to excel at your job, but also your mission. We'll also have a track on sustainability, which is, of course, about people and their sustainable pace, but it's also about how do we bring sustainability to the products and the planet we inhabit. We'll have a third track about happiness, talking about doing what we love and, most crucially, loving what we do. And finally, the 4th track will be live. It will be mostly hands-on sessions to help you roll up your sleeves together with the presenters. Oh, and we will also have a coaching clinic, as we usually do, organized to help you discuss and get inspired to solve the hardest challenges you face at work. This year, we'll have a special emphasis on interaction with your peers, so get your ticket and join the Slack at bit.ly/AOS 2022. As always, we have free tickets for anyone that wants to attend live, and the VIP tickets for those of you who want to keep the videos forever. So check them out at bit.ly/AOS 2022. I'll see you on the conference floor. One more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is over. But there's a lot more we have to share. We have developed our own membership site where you find a community of active and engaged Scrum Masters. In this site, you get access to exclusive content and get to interact with us, your podcast hosts, as well as the best Scrum Masters in the world. Join us at scrummastertoolbox.com/podcast and keep this podcast free of advertising. See you next week for one more week full of Scrum Master tips and tricks. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.